What is up, down and sideways, you fantastic individuals? Welcome to another FBF League Unlock. Eric and Mark here with you guys. Lots of tasty LCK, LPL matches to get to, but we begin with a little bit of late breaking news. North America, the LTA, has found their challenger for Cajal and Los Ratones. Moist Critical's Moist Esports, cringiest name for a team, combined with Ludwig, recently promoted to Platinum in solo queue, combining with Shopify Rebellion to become co-owners in some capacity, but huge stream name coming over to the LTA.
I'm convinced it's just Charlie's long meme to try and get everybody to say moist in as many awkward situations as
he got me.
Absolutely has got us here. But yes, joining forces together is going to be Charlie, Moist Critical, and Ludwig as co-owners for Shopify Rebellion, the LTA, jumping into the media mogul type of group right now. And we're feeling pretty excited about this move for the league.
And it sounds like there's no change. It's not Shopify Moist or Moist Rebellion, thankfully, again. But whatever capacity it is, bringing this huge audience over to, let's face it, an organization that I feel like there weren't many fans that crossed over. Shopify buys TSM spot. I don't think old TSM fans were saying, yeah, I'm sticking it out with Shopify. So this is a huge injection of fandom into a team that needs it.
It at the very base level, and let's be honest here, Shopify needs that base level to start building at. It brings in a fan base, brings in a reason to watch the games, to care about it beyond just what is the players and the gameplay. Because again, of course, if you're a diehard, if you are an absolute lunatic for just League of Legends and for the pro scene, sure, you can find reasons to be involved, to be invested in these teams, these players, whatever the storylines. But for the average viewer, the average person that's maybe just hanging around on Twitch, watching whatever stream, doing all these type of things, maybe isn't, totally tuned into esports, maybe is aware of these games, doesn't want to get into the competitive side of things. This is absolutely that reason to check in, to open that door and open it to Shopify Rebellion and the LTA. Very happy to see this one come through. I think both of the partners are two great ones that you could have added as far as, streamers, content creators, people in that figure of a space. Charlie is someone that has been involved with esports, the competitive scene, and I think stepping up into this tier 1 that it's going to be at with the LTA, with Riot and League of Legends, is that level of competitiveness and something that he will appreciate and like. And of course, Ludwig, he's just been on this whole run through to Platinum, all the way from some of the worst Iron and Bronze gameplay you could ever imagine. He's gone through it all, and he's brought a ton of viewers to it, and I think his investment, his interest in it, and his connections then with the other content creators and how things work in that regard of setting up all these collaborations and whatnot leads me to believe that, yes, we are going to succeed in one of the things we've been asking for this year, and that is a Los Ratones show match. Bring it on. Ludwig and Charlie out here for Shopify Rebellion versus Los Ratones. Set this one up. The content is too good to pass up, boys.
And obviously there's already history between Ludwig and Toast, just right within the LTA, which is a way easier. I mean, those are scheduled matchups. You don't even need to do anything special, but you know that there's going to be some co-stream action going between Ludwig and Cajal for this. So very exciting, a big boost to the LTA, which again, a lot of these teams leaving and not many of the old guard left. People want some reasons to be fans of some of the newer organizations, and this absolutely going to make Shopify one of those squads. We'll monitor this as the LTA is set to kick off. Crazy news like this is dropping like 2 weeks before, not even a week before the regular season kicks off. So very excited for that. But we did have games actually to get through, and we had some heavy hitters. We're talking rematch of the LCK finals from last year, Gen G versus Hanwha, now with the best top laner in the LCK on their squad, and one roster move. Somehow, Hanwha looked a little bit lost on the day. They were 2 to 3 steps behind Gen G at every corner of this series.
This is a lot more than just the off-season change, than just Zayu stepping in and maybe not having the most overwhelming performance from him, maybe not having all of the synergy that we love to have imagined with the Hanwha Life members. It's none of those things. It's the overwhelming force that was Gen G stepping back onto the Rift. And this is a Gen G as a boxer stepping back and taking some heavy hits the last time they were in the ring. And we're talking about being at the World Championship, the disappointment after, again, the dominance, the run we have seen domestically, and that domestic run, which was ended by your boys on Hanwha Life, usurping them in the summer finals last year. That chance for revenge, redemption, that must have been on the minds for these Gen G boys for quite a while, including your boy Ruler stepping back into the Gen G lineup. Talk about what type of train, what type of bullet train engine, futuristic Cybertronian train they are, running at speeds that they can. When you've got engines running like Chovy and Ruler on this team, and you've got the facilitation, the wheels of Canyon, making sure that everything is going on according to program. You add in the stability of Keen and a couple of fancy plays by Duro in this one, unexpected. This is Gen G showing us full power right out of the gates.
Yeah, Gen G. Ruler gets the MVP or player of the match for this one, mainly because of that Jinx Game 2, 100%, where they had a comp built around him. 37-10 in kills for Gen G. Hanwha only gets 2 turrets across both of these games. And how about 2025, new season, welcome to Noxus. We see lane swaps, Nidalee Renekton for Gen G, and a Jinx Ruler comp. That looks the same as usual to me.
It's the same drink the bartender's been serving from last year, and even worse, he stirred it with the same dirty spoon, and that's the Atakan added into the game as well, and not liking that type of one. I think just overwhelmingly here, what we saw, yes, you can kind of dive into a couple of these things a little bit more, but it just was so clearly one-sided on the side of Gen G and their dominance and their performance and how much they had it together in comparison to Hanwha Life. It just felt so flat, which was supposed to be kind of the big firework to get us started in the LCK, with the appetizer that was, of course, the starting matches and then T1 and D plus Kia yesterday.
And you can't just sit here and say, well, Zeus didn't play well. It's all his fault that Hanwha... No, they were outclassed in every single role across the board. Just a slow build-up. We're not going to panic yet, of course, but man, Gen G might actually look better with Ruler in the lineup than what they were last year. That is an absolutely terrifying prospect. Almost as terrifying as seeing BLG hit the Rift. And there's been, a lot of talk about this Atakan res ability that needs to get nerfed, but I haven't seen anybody have more fun on the Rift early in this season than Knight did in this entire series. It's a 3-0 domination for BLG. The Corki, Vladimir, and Swain, all 3 of these games. Knight, at times, he took his hands off the keyboard just to let himself die because he knew he was just going to be resurrected.
It's 100% the look ma, no hands, riding bicycle type of situation from Knight. And I think out of all the players to showcase just how nasty it is to really have one of these buffs go against you, Knight is probably one of the most lethal options that is out there. And the way that he has shown it, it doesn't matter, fearless draft or not, my man is rolling through whatever champions and showing the skill that he has in that mid lane. The run back for BLG, the 2023 roster returns for looking for that redemption for the LPL and themselves. And Bin looks like exactly the same monster that we have seen all along in the LPL. He is disrespecting fools, and he's doing it with authority out in the Rift.
And that was kind of the theme for this whole roster. This felt like they're on a 9-game winning streak in the league, ready to really style on people. This is their first series, and Knight's laughing, yucking it up. The disrespect on how Bin is playing this game. Elk's going for highlight reel plays throughout the series. It felt like peak BLG, and it's their first time stepping on the Rift.
It's like it was, hey EDG, let's get you on the treadmill. Let's start, working on a little bit of a jog type of situation. The treadmill's already at max. That's BLG. They're already rolling. They're already smooth machine.
And you don't even ease into it. You have to jump onto the treadmill because it's already going.
And I think there still can be some things when you're looking at BLG. I think the bottom lane could be maybe a little bit stronger. But again, when you have performances right out of the gate like Knight was able to do in all 3 games, like Bin was able to do pretty much throughout this series, it doesn't really matter all that much. And yes, it will matter, of course, when we get down to Worlds, when we get down to more important matchups and bigger, stronger teams. But right now, BLG showing us that they are that BLG, that Titan of last year, looking for that redemption.
You want the complete other end of the spectrum if you're talking about Titans?
No,
unfortunately, we got to talk about the bro leavers. Is there anyone left on the train? It's looking pretty dark in here. There's a lot of empty seats. They follow up the loss to DRX to a swift, well, not swift, but an 0-2 loss to Nongshim that includes Lahans dropping a support Elise in a throwback to 2019 Griffin.
I hate it. I love it. I actually do love it so much, but I hate it at the exact same time. I'm telling you, there's very few things in a bottom lane as embarrassing as getting cocooned by an Elise support and having it happen not once, not twice, 3 times or more. It's a pretty brutal situation. Yes, this is a rough one for the bro leavers out there, and I don't know how many are left out there leaving the lingering golden remains from the Kespa Cup into what has been a 1-2, 0-2 record early in this run through in the LCK Cup. And especially the most concerning part of these losses is that they're against the worst expected teams in the Elder Dragon group, and that prepares us for an unbelievable gauntlet, which again, maybe the unbelievable is the believable for the bros type of situation, but man, is it looking bleak.
I mean, they're looking like on a path from going from Kespa Cup champs to being that first team eliminated. And we know there's only one team eliminated in the first round of this LCK Cup. But yeah, losing, and not just losing to the 2 weakest teams in the other group does not look good. You had Bull sub in for this one too, but let's go on the positive side of things, because your boy Kingen had himself a series, and we know this guy can do this. He can be invisible for 3 weeks, and then for a single series, he can look like the best player in the league.
They got to build on this. That's what I'm going to say about this, and I'm pretty sure it's a broken record because I say that every single time about Kingen. Is it going to be, here's the appearance of, World's MVP Kingen, and then that was the appearance. It's a singular appearance. This is not a multi-tour act type of situation. It has to continue. That's got to be the big thing if you're talking about this from the Nongshim perspective, because if he's performing like that, it does elevate Nongshim into one of these categories where you do start picturing them more so into that middle tier, that middle sandwich of teams that are going to be looking for that playoff spot where we hoped and expected the bros to find themselves, but we are disappointed once again by the Kespa Cup champion.
Yeah, but at least you had Gen G looking great on the day. Maybe the hype for bro's gone, but there's plenty of other teams in the LCK to get excited about. We'll have lots of games over the weekend as well coming back, and we've got the debut of the LEC as well as another major region kicks off. We're finally full steam ahead, but that is it today for League Unlock. Eric and Mark here with you. Absolute beauties. Thanks for hanging out as always. We'll catch you on that flippity flip.